Hello and welcome into the Built for Tough Player of the Week show, the Week 8 edition, celebrating the very best and brightest of Texas high school football across the state of Texas. I'm Greg Tepper. That is Ashley Pickle here in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership. We are heading towards the end of the regular season. It's hard to believe it, but each of these performances seems to outdo the other. And I'm starting to look forward to Week 11. I'm like, are you guys going to put together Cold Fusion or something? What are you guys doing?
I mean, if it keeps getting better, we're talking about astronomical numbers right now. And I think it's part of the reason is playoffs are coming. These games are incredibly meaningful and these athletes know what's ahead and everybody's trying to make it to AT&T Stadium. So incredible performances in this week's Built for Tough Player of the Week winners.
The stakes are high and the level of performance is even higher. And we will kick things off with our Class 6A Built for Tough Player of the Week. To Trophy Club Texas we go, where Byron Nelson quarterback Parker Almanza brought home the award with an unbelievable performance in their win over rival Hazlitt Eaton, throwing for 359 yards and 6 touchdowns, added another touchdown on the ground. This young man did it all for the Bobcats.
He, is committed to Baylor as a tight end, and that's his natural position. Well, this year, Byron Nelson needed a quarterback, and he stepped in seamlessly. And they said that's why he's so perfect for the Built for Tough Player of the Week recognition, is because not only of what he can do on the field, but also his selflessness. He's the first person that's going to take it and say, yeah, whatever you need, coach, we're in it. And he has been incredible thus far this year. He had the opportunity to catch up with our Mallory Hartley.
Parker, what an unbelievable performance you had last week. 416 total yards and 7 touchdowns. Absolutely lighting it up through the air. Talk to me a little bit about your performance and what fueled you through the game.
So what fueled me was, Eaton likes to say that we're their rival. And I would say that, me and the O-line and the receivers took that a little personal. And so we wanted to come out and show them that they couldn't really hang with us. And I think we all took it personal, and our preparation the whole week was really good. And then we came out and executed everything to a T pretty much. And, we started off a little slow, came out strong after that and scored 7 out of our 8 drives. So I think we had a pretty good night, and I think it was all credited to the guys up front and the receivers around me and the running backs.
Very well deserved. When you think about what this award means and what this award embodies, what was your initial reaction when you found out that you were being honored with the Built for Tough 6A Player of the Week?
I was surprised. It's an honor. I wasn't it last year. This year having it's just an honor, showing how my play on the field is translating to other things around me. But I really, like I said earlier, I couldn't have done it without my teammates, from this varsity guys to even the scout players. They give us great looks every day, and, they contribute a lot to it. And so I was just very happy for me and the people around me that helped me get this award.
Tell me a little bit about his performance last week and maybe that transition that he has been able to make from tight end to playing quarterback again his senior year.
His journey this year is certainly something that I'm going to use as an example for a really long time, to different players. It started obviously kind of towards the end of spring. Me and the offensive coordinator went to him and said, I think this is a way you can help the team. I know it's probably not where your future in football lies, but this is what the team needs right now. And without thinking twice, he just said, yes, sir. And jumped right into relearning the offense kind of from that position. And so it's been, really, really fun and great to see him just seize that and get better each week and really dedicate himself to working hard. And I know it's a coaching cliche, but when your best players are your hardest workers, you probably have a pretty good team. And, Parker has really embodied that. And so it was awesome to see all of that hard work building over the season, kind of culminating in that performance this week, just being able to play how he did and show everyone that, what might happen in the future or where you've been in the past isn't necessarily going to dictate where you are now, that if you keep working hard and you keep being dedicated and you're playing for your team, great things are going to happen.
Off campus or off the field that the stat sheet or the fans outside don't know?
I think that list could go on forever. I think, he's involved in church. He's involved with youth football things. He's involved with lots of things here on campus. He's the kind of young man you want as the face of your program. And to me, the biggest thing that kind of, illustrates that is, so I have three boys that are 11, 9, and 7. And if you ask the 7-year-old, like his teachers do every year, they find out what I do. And they're like, oh, well, who's your favorite football player? And my 7-year-old says, Parker Almanza. And then the teachers email me and they're like, who is he talking about? So, and it's been that way for actually a few years. So that's the kind of kid that he is, and the connection he has with the community and the people around him, and just that personality.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to Parker Almanza, our Built Ford Tough Player of the Week there in Class 6A. Let's matriculate over to Class 5A, where we head out to the Sun City, where they call him the El Paser, if you will. It is El Paso Del Valle senior quarterback Jake Fetty. He popped off in a big win over Horizon. He went 20 for 32, 326 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Tacked on an extra 32 rushing yards just for fun, Greg Tepper.
It's ho-hum here for Jake Fetty, who I think is the real superstar out there in the Sun City, which is saying something because it's a great year of talent in El Paso. Remember, he was a Built Ford Tough Player of the Week winner last season as a junior. The Arizona State commit has been absolutely outrageous, already over 2,500 total yards and 29 touchdowns on the season. Quite frankly, one of the very best quarterbacks in the state of Texas, and he got to catch up with one of our very best, Mallory Hartley.
Jake, I don't want anything to take away from your performance last week, but it seems like you put on this kind of a performance every single week. Like you're putting up monster numbers every single week. You already have 1,900 yards on the season and 19 touchdowns. What motivates you week after week to keep going?
Just keep my team winning, At the end of the day, as a quarterback, you're the leader. So you got to do what you can to get the team to win. And we lost a few weeks ago. So just having that nasty taste in your mouth of I didn't play well enough because we lost, it just keeps motivating me week by week.
And expand on that senior leadership a little bit. It feels like being a senior and a quarterback, you're leading this team, right? It feels a little bit different that you're a senior. Tell me a little bit about that senior leadership and what that means to you.
It means a lot. A lot of our team was the freshman team I came up with. So it's real cool being able to win with my brothers and just being able to push everyone to their full ability, which we know they could do more than what they think they can do. So just getting them to that extra level of ball.
So we've nicknamed you as the El Paser. Have you heard of that before?
I have.
You're kind of a known commodity around here, the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Studios. But what does it mean to you to be? You're probably going to go down as one of the best quarterbacks to ever come out of El Paso. And what does that mean to be able to represent your city in that way?
It's real cool. I lived here my whole life, so all my friends here and all the little kids that come watch the games, it means a lot that they look up to me.
And like I mentioned to Coach, you have not only won this award once, but you've won it twice now. So what does that mean to you to be able to be honored with this type of award more than once?
I mean, it's real cool, it means a lot to me, but at the end of the day, it's all because of my team, If our receivers don't catch the ball, I don't get passing yards and get the awards. If my line doesn't block, we lit up sacks and I don't get the awards. So it's really just on my team.
To have a quarterback as prolific as Jake Fetty in the El Paso area and you get to coach him, what does that mean to you in your own words?
It's been very special. It's been very special for myself and our coaching staff and our kids here in this locker room, this community, to have the opportunity to go out there and watch them compete and play at a very high level, every Friday night. But where Jake excels the most is, we see the great plays that he makes out there on a Friday night and the great games that he can put together. But the way he carries himself off the field, in the building, the way he's a true captain, great student in the building. It's just it's great to have a leader like that in our locker room because it carries on to the rest of our programs, and our kids see that if Jake Fetty is going to work hard and to do all the little things right, they're going to fall in place for the same thing.
What kinds of things specifically is he involved in off the field that makes him who he is?
Well, first of all, he's a straight A student, so he gets things done in the classroom, and he's the first one in the weight room. He's the first one in the field room. He's the last one to leave. When your best player is working the hardest, It's great to have, and it's great for everybody to see from our freshmen all the way up. Even our middle school, they come up here and they watch him practice and they see how it's done. And for him to be successful and to keep on working and play like he has a chip on his shoulder, it's very, very exciting for our program.
And then finally, to have Jake not only win this award once, but twice, what kind of a message do you want your players to take away from an award like this?
Well, you know what? Hard work goes unnoticed. And Jake Fetty's not about individual accolades. He's about helping us win on a Friday night and helping this program grow and be successful. But when you put the team first, great things can happen. And that's what I want our kids to see. When you go out there and you work hard because you want the team to be successful, all the individual accolades will follow. So it's been very great and very special to see him win this, not once, but twice.
Well, Coach, I can tell you're very proud of him. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Congratulations again to Jake Fetty, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 5A. We're just getting started on the Built for Tough Player of the Week show, but wait a second. Do you have internet access? If so, go to fordplayeroftheweek.com/nominate to nominate your gridiron hero for excellence on and off the field. You can get your name read by Ashley Pickle. What an honor. fordplayeroftheweek.com/nominate to nominate your gridiron hero for the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. After the break, the 4A and 3A winners, if you keep it where it is.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Welcome back. Rolling on in the Built for Tough Player of the Week show, honoring the very best and brightest from Week 8, Greg Tepper, Ashley Pickle. But enough about us and more about Jackson Marie, the Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 4A. In one of the games of the year, Jackson Marie went absolutely crazy town banana pants in the win over Sinton with 422 total yards and 8 touchdowns, and they needed every bit of it.
He was the person that engineered that comeback. I mean, we were all sitting in the office watching that game, and it was so thrilling. And Jackson Marie just was able to put on the cape and take them to victory. And then that's what his coach said. He steps up exactly when we need him to. He does things the right way, and he is such an incredible player in the way that he steps up in those big times when they need it most. He caught up with Mallory Hartley.
All right, from a player's perspective, walk me through those final 4 minutes and 57 seconds on the field last Friday night.
Yeah, it was pretty special. So, we got after we got the ball back, after they scored, making it 35-55. So we got the ball. I was like, all right, we just got to go one play at a time, is execute. And that's what we did. So we went down the field and scored. And then I was like, all right, well, now we just need an onside kick. I was telling the team, keep your head up. We're still in this game. After we got that touchdown, making it 42-55, I think it gave them a little bit of confidence. It's like, okay, yeah, we're in this. And then we got the onside kick. And then, I was telling the offense, just got to go, just take it slow, be calm. And then, we just got to execute. And that's exactly what happened. And the special teams executed and the offense did a heck of a job. And then after we scored, making it 56-55, then it was the defense time to do their job to stop them because there was still 24 seconds left. And so the defense went out there and made a stop, and then they blocked that field goal to win the game. It was pretty special.
Did this one feel a little bit different for you? It's kind of like that new district rivalry, number 5 team in the state comes in and you guys beat them. Did it feel a little bit different?
Yeah, definitely a little bit different. Yeah, winning like that in such a big game like that, it was pretty special. We lost to Rockport, losing by 1 point. So you had to build the team back up, knowing that we're still in this, we're still a good ball club. And, just the way they fought back was very special.
And then finally, Jackson, when you found out that you were going to be honored with the Built for Tough 4A Player of the Week, what was that initial reaction?
I was like, well, wow, that's pretty sweet because, I won it last year, and going there and experiencing that event that they have is pretty special. And when we were leaving, I told my dad, I was like, I want to come back again, and so I get to go do that again. So that's pretty sweet.
And you get to come back this year too. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Well, Jackson, congratulations again on not only winning it once, but winning it twice. And good luck the rest of the season. We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
An unbelievable performance by one of your leaders. An 8 touchdown performance. As a coach, what was that like watching him put up those kinds of numbers?
It's special, and Jack, he's done that before. Obviously last year he did it, in a game against Yoakum. But he's a grinder. One, he's a student of the game. Two, his emotions, he's calm as can be in every moment. I probably saw more emotion out of him after he threw the touchdown to put us tied, and I finally saw some emotion out of him. But it was fun, and he's taking care of the ball this year. Unfortunately, he had an injury last year that kind of took him out. We knew what we had in him in the fact of what he can do on the game, on the field, in his quarterback play, but his leadership sets him apart in those things. And so, our team wholeheartedly trusts him. They know that at any moment he can do what needs to be done to win the game, whether it's with his feet, whether it's with his arm. He's taking care of the football this year. He makes great decisions, and he stayed to the task on Friday night in big moments, in moments when you need that quarterback to step up and that leadership to step up. And that's exactly what he did, and that's exactly why we were able to come back.
And finally, we all know what kind of a player Jackson is. You just described him on the field, but off the field, what kinds of things is he involved in that maybe the stat sheet or the fans on Friday nights don't really see?
Yeah, we do some things on Thursdays with our teams where we go out and we bus over to our elementary schools and do some of those things where he's very involved in the community with things that he does. His teammates love him. The community, loves him, not just for his play, because he's got as good a manners as a young man can have. I know he loves to hunt. He's a hunter. I've seen some videos of him doing some hunting stuff that I wouldn't do, just because I don't know how, but two, I'm probably not brave enough to do. And so, he's a fun kid. Again, he's well respected. I've had him over at my house for dinner and things like that, and he's always, thanking people who he needs to thank, but he's very humble in the fact of he can do things on the field and athletically, but he gives credit where credit is due, although he deserves it at times too. He knows he can't do it without his teammates, and he doesn't take that for granted. And so, he's a good one, that's for sure. He's one of the best ones I've had a chance to coach in my career so far. And he's fun, and he's fun to coach because you never know when things are going to happen. Sometimes plays break down and he just kind of does his thing. And those are fun because you're like, all right, he's that guy, and so he's got that thing. And so that makes it cool to be able to coach.
Well, Coach, we can tell you're super proud of him, and so are we. Congratulations on not only the win last week, but, having such a tough squad this year, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to Cuero's Jackson Marie, our Built Ford Tough Player of the Week out of Class 4A. Moving on down to 3A, and we go down to Goliad, where we find senior running back and defensive back Lamont Franklin in a big win over Orange Grove. He had 3 rushes for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 catches for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns, and a 94-yard kickoff return. He literally did about everything he could do.
Yeah, large bills only for Lamont Franklin. This is a guy who touched the ball 6 times and averaged 56.5 yards every time he touched it. And he scored. He only got tackled twice. I want you to think about that. He scored 4 touchdowns and he got tackled twice. They only ran 25 plays at all in their win over Orange Grove 40-17. He was absolutely spectacular, was Lamont Franklin, and just for fun, he got to catch up with Mallory Hartley.
You had an unbelievable monster of a game last week. Walk me through your performance last Friday night and what motivated you to have such an outstanding performance?
I mean, what motivates me is like the doubt, coming into every game, we're always predicted to lose. And I just told myself I got to stay relaxed and just play. Don't worry about who's in the stands. But, every game I go out there, just do what I do. So, that's what it is. Just staying relaxed, staying humble, and just taking play by play. And that's what led me to really doing good.
And of course, you're being honored for that performance with the Built for Tough 3A Player of the Week award. What was your initial reaction when you found out that you were being honored with this award?
I was excited, but I wasn't as surprised because, I get after it every game, and every day at practice, but it was definitely a blessing and all glory to God because without him, it wouldn't have happened. So, and shout out to my teammate and coaches.
An unbelievable performance from Lamont last week, Coach. Walk me through his performance and what it was like for you as a coach standing on the sideline watching it happen.
Yeah, Lamont, he had an incredible night. We know anytime he touches the football that a lot of amazing things can happen. Our first offensive play, we worked on it all week, and it just executed it perfectly. Our quarterback threw it out there to Lamont, made a nice catch, and then down the sideline for 88 yards. He's just got top speed and can get to top speed in a hurry. So, and then it just kind of kept continuing. A few plays later, Lamont catches another pass over a defender and gets in again for another touchdown. And it's just fun watching him on the sideline. Like, you just don't ever know what's going to happen when he gets the ball in his hands. It's just like it's a human highlight reel. So I'm glad he's on our team.
No kidding. I was going to say, I love watching his highlights. I mean, that top end speed, like you said, is unbelievable. And he's also a track star. So obviously those two go hand in hand there. Tell me who Lamont is off the field and what kinds of things he's involved in to make who he is today.
Yeah, Lamont is a great young man. He's very quiet, doesn't say a whole lot, has incredible work ethic. Is going to work hard in everything that he does, from the classroom to the weight room. All the little kids love him at the elementary school. They love when he goes down there. Our kids go down on Fridays and interact with our elementary students. And Lamont's just a great kid to be around, and our community and our kids within our school district and stuff, they really look up to him. So I've got some young boys myself, and they'll be out there playing in the yard, and they're, "Oh, I'm Lamont," and they'll make a cut and, make a nice catch. And, "Oh, I want to do this like Lamont does." So he's a great role model and a great person to have in our program and on our team.
And the Goliad train just keeps on rolling. You guys are 6-1 on this season. What kind of a message do you hope Lamont winning this type of award sends to the rest of your team?
I think, that's something when we presented Lamont told him that he had, won the Week 8 Built for Tough Player of the Week. It was just our team was extremely excited for him, and I think Lamont will tell you one of the things that, he said was, "Man, guys, this doesn't happen without y'all." So just the team aspect and, our guys knowing that everybody contributes. That at the end of the day, Lamont, his name's on the award and stuff, but it's also for the program. It's big for our program. It's big for our team. And like you said, we've had some good success, and we're hoping to continue that and continue to build on this.
Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations again to the remarkable Lamont Franklin, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 3A. We've just got this party started here on the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. After the break, a look back at one of the all-time greats to win the Built for Tough Player of the Week. Stay with us.
In Texas, high school football is more than a game. It's a legacy. From small towns to powerhouse programs, Friday nights showcase the best talent in the nation. At texasfootball.com/recruiting, we cover the stars of today and tomorrow with trusted rankings, in-depth analysis, weekly podcasts, and live commitment announcements, because this is where legends begin.
Welcome back to the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. We are celebrating the 20th anniversary of this here award, the most prestigious award in Texas high school football, the Built for Tough Player of the Week show. And that gives us an opportunity to look back on some of the outstanding playmakers who have taken home this award in the past. Let's flash it back to 2008, when a young man at Plano High, Rex Burkhead, brought home the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week honors for the Wildcats, and for good reason. One of the most unstoppable running backs in Texas high school football that season. He ran for 1,775 yards and 23 touchdowns in a hard-charging senior year. It was then off to the University of Nebraska, where he was a star for the Cornhuskers. After that, a long NFL career with the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Texans. In fact, with the Patriots back in 2018, he brought home a Super Bowl championship and actually led that Super Bowl in yards per carry. So a little bit of history there for Rex Burkhead. He was also first team All Big Ten back in 2011, but we will always remember him as a Built Ford Tough Player of the Week recipient at Plano High. Rex Burkhead, one of the all-time greatest to bring home the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week award. We're still rolling on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. After the break, the 2A and private school winner and some games to watch for next week. You stay with us.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Back into the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show, and we go now to our 2A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week, where we head all the way out west to Stinnett, West Texas, to visit with senior quarterback Cade Winters, who in a 50-49 win over Panhandle went for 41 rushes, 369 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he had 4 of the 2-point conversions.
Yeah, and by the way, that means he scored all 50 of their points in their 50-49 win over Panhandle. The Comanches are unbeaten. One of the great stories, I think, in Class 2A this year, and a remarkable victory over Panhandle. This felt like the real test for them, and they passed it in flying colors, thanks in large part to the heroics of Cade Winters. And as a reward, he got to catch up with Mallory Hartley.
Scored all 50 points in that game. An unbelievable performance. Man, what motivated you to have such an outstanding performance in that game?
Really, I'd have to say from last year's loss to Panhandle, because we go in last year, I think we were 6-1, 7-1, something like that. Panhandle was about the same. They might have been undefeated. And then we go in there and we get killed. I have probably one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. So this game's been circled for a long time. And then coming into the game, like, the boys were playing great. I was playing great. And then, I mean, from the get-go, Panhandle, they were scoring like they always do. We were scoring like how we were. There's really no defense in that game, but I couldn't have done it without my linemen. I mean, they blocked for me all night, literally all night. If they missed a block, they were saying they were sorry to me, and I was like, don't say you're sorry. Like, it happens. It's a game. Like, you're not going to do the perfect thing every single play. I don't do it every single play. But, I mean, it was just all around great effort by everyone, and I was happy for everyone on our team.
You guys are 7-0 for the first time in 30 years. What does that mean to you to be a part of this historic season? And, you know, being a senior leader like you are on this team, what does that all mean to you?
It means a lot to me just because, I mean, my freshman year, we went 0-10. My sophomore year, we went, I think it was 4-6. Last year, we finished 7-4. So being 7-0 right now compared to last year where we only had 7 wins, I mean, it's a great accomplishment, great achievement, but at the same time, we have to stay focused. There's still a lot of football to be played. We want to go play December football. It's what Coach preaches every day. So, I mean, 7-0 is great and all, but we're looking for the bigger picture, which is getting to Thanksgiving, playing then, getting to December, playing then. Like, it's great, but we're all kind of focused on the long-term thing there.
Coach Smith, I'm sure you're still on cloud 9 from last week's performance. It was such a huge and historical win for your program. And to see one of your players, one of your senior leaders, have such a dominating performance, scoring all 50 points in last week's game. What was that like for you standing on the sideline and watching all of this happen?
You know, it was one of the most exciting things that I've been a part of, you know, to watch Cade's performance and the way that he handled himself and the situation. You know, it was a big game for our program and for the community, and to watch Cade and the guys step out on the field and take care of business like they've been there before. So it was a huge win for us, and one of the best high school football games that I've ever been a part of.
Talk about the resilience and the motivation that you saw from your team Friday night.
There was just a lot of no quit attitude. We talked all week. Our game plan was to take our time and limit Panhandle's possessions because they're so explosive offensively, and they scored on several 2 or 3 play drives. We were able to to possess the ball and do some of the things that we had that our game plan led us to do, and it just watching how it unfolded and how we executed the game plan, and the kids were bought in, and there was never a look in our eye that we weren't fixing to take care of business.
In your own words, why was Cade the perfect recipient for the Built for Tough 2A Player of the Week award?
Well, because that's the kind of performance Cade puts on every week. He's the ultimate leader. He's the ultimate teammate. He raises the level of play of everybody. Cade is probably more about the success of his teammates than he is himself.
Congratulations again to Cade Winters, our Built for Tough Player of the Week in Class 2A. Last but certainly not least, let's check out our private school Built for Tough Player of the Week. To Dallas First Baptist we go to talk about their unbelievable junior athlete, George Anagnostis, who was spectacular in their 34-7 win over San Antonio Holy Cross, especially on the defensive side. 18 tackles to pace things there. But he also ran for 137 yards. He had 50 yards receiving. He threw for 60 yards. He stirred the Gatorade. He did everything.
He played 5 different positions in this game. That is absurd. He shined on defense, ran for over 100 yards, made a big catch, some few key throws. He is a complete player and a dominant force on the field. That's how head coach Jason Lavorne would describe him, and it makes sense. He's a smart kid, a National Honor Society member, and has already drawn some interest from several Ivy League schools. A complete and total package there. He caught up with our Mallory Hartley.
Tell me a little bit about your performance and what motivated you to have such a strong night.
Well, the team we played that we lost to last year. That was like our only loss last year, so it was really like meaningful game, and I just really I was just really locked in. I was just ready to go and perform.
Now, you're involved in a ton of different things when it comes to high school. I mean, you run track, you play basketball, and then coach said you've got well over a 4.0. How do you balance it all?
I mean, it's pretty hard. I mean, it's like you got to do a bunch of homework and study and stuff, but it's just like I enjoyed playing the sports and it's just fun to me. So it's not like such a hard thing for me to do because I just enjoy it. It's just fun.
Tell me a little bit about who you are as a leader with this team.
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Warren said, I'm kind of like quiet leader, I would say, just more of my actions. I'm trying to get out there and talk more, but yeah, that's sort of how I am.
To read the stat sheet that George put up last week, it's unbelievable. Not only on both sides of the ball, but in multiple ways on the offensive side of the ball. You're shaking your head. You're like, oh my gosh, it's insane.
Yeah.
To have a player like that on your team that is so valuable in multiple phases of the game, what does that mean for you and also the rest of your team?
And it makes my job easy as a coach because we really can put him in so many different spots. He made an impact at quarterback, at running back, at receiver, and then, of course, on the defensive side. This week, he played linebacker, he played safety. He's all over the field, and he's 228 pounds and running the way that he runs, not just a power back. He's explosive. He's got moves. So it makes me look good, but he can do it all. Yeah.
Who is he off the field? I know there's a we know who he is on the field. He's very protective, but we like to know him a little bit deeper than that. You know, what kinds of things is he involved in off the field?
Yeah. He's an awesome guy. He is well over a 4.0 GPA student. His on a 100-point scale, it's over 100, takes all the honors, AP classes, his PSAT, he's 99th percentile. And then he is there every single day during summer workouts, everything we ask him to do. Extremely consistent, extremely hardworking. And then he is a quiet leader. He leads by example, and shows people how to do everything on the football field, in the classroom. So really just an overall great person, great player.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all of our Week 8 winners here on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. All right, one more thing to do as we transition now over into Week 9, and that's to look at our Built Ford Tough games to watch. Tepper, take a look at this list. What sticks out to you here?
Yeah, it's a bunch of matchups of unbeatens that are the real showcases here. Allen and Prosper is a heavyweight showdown in Class 6A. Frisco Lone Star and Frisco Wakeland. Remember, Wakeland was the only team to beat Lone Star in the regular season last year. Lone Star would certainly like a little bit of revenge there in that matchup of unbeatens. Bay City and El Campo, one of the all-time great rivalries, renewed for a 122nd time down there, Ricebirds and Black Cats. Raymondville and Rio Hondo, under the radar, a matchup of unbeatens in the 3A ranks in the Rio Grande Valley. Bremond and Chilton features two of the very best defenses in all in 2A Division 2. In the private school ranks, keep an eye on the Dragons of the Woodlands. John Cooper going on the road to take on Houston Kincaid. That's going to do it for us here on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. For our producer, Blaine Tatum and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. We'll see you next week on the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week show.